So hey guys, let me just take that down for a second. So I'm doing a quick video. As you guys know from the podcast yesterday, I've been inspecting, I guess that's a funny way of saying it, I've been investigating what's been going on with the NVIDIA stuff to see, what it was. Thanks to PC and some other people, we learned that according to NVIDIA, they have what they call a technical PR team, and they handle like the specs and what gets stalled out there. Their technical PR team apparently was confused about some of the chip's ability to disable the L2 cache and ROPs and whatnot. This is what NVIDIA claims. Now, one of the things I want to point out right now, I'm actually made sure that I was not connected to the internet. So you can see down here, right now I'm not connected. I've actually physically got the wire pulled out of my machine. What I wanted to see, as far as I know, there is on GPUZ, it pulls certain information off the card BIOS regardless. So I brought it to PCPer's attention. They're saying no, it just whatever updated version you have, it reads what version of the BIOS you have, card BIOS, and then shows you what, and they have the specs already pre-programmed in there. I don't think, as far as I know, that's not the way it works. That does have some information that is cataloged for newer versions, but it still does pull off a lot of the information off the BIOS, because the BIOS actually has a file in there stating how many ROPs, how much memory, how fast, and some stuff gets screwed up like card clock and all that. So to prove this, what I did is I went and downloaded an older version of GPUZ, and this is 0.50, so we're going to open it up right now. Okay, and right here you can see right off the bat, this is from, let's see if we go to about 2007, 2011, whatever. So 2011 at least is when this is around. So it doesn't recognize my current CPU graphics, which is the HD Graphics 4600. It does say it because it's reported by the chip's MEI, as well as like some information, not a whole lot here. So let's go down to my actual GPU. This is the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 760. This would have been launched after 2011. It's about a 2-year-old card now. I think it was launched summer of 2013. So you can see here, it reports what the card name is because it's being pulled from the BIOS. It's the revisions being pulled. The number of CUDA cores is being pulled. As you can see, I'm still not connected to the internet. I can't connect to get this information. Some things are really off, like it doesn't know the technology, it doesn't know the die size, release date, which that would be obvious because to this program's knowledge right now, it hasn't even been released. There's no such thing. Doesn't know the transistor, doesn't know BIOS version number, but it does know certain things it's pulling off the card, such as the device ID, EVGA, and of course the ROPs. Number of shaders, it doesn't know DirectX support, certain things like that. So you get the idea. It is pulling some information off the BIOS. It even tells me what the driver version is, and this is actually correct. So this is pulling this off the driver itself. So the point I want to make here is what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the video here real quick. I'm going to reconnect to the internet. We're going to update this, and you'll see how it updates everything the correct way. Let's go ahead and update it. So, let's see if I remember how to do that. Check for update. New version available. Would you like to update? Yes. Okay. This is going to take me here. Alright, well, let's close this. Let's download the new version. Okay. Let's open it back up. Sure, whatever. And there's the new version right there. So now you can see a lot more of the information's filled out now. It's got ROPs, TMUs, It's got the correct release date, says June 25th, 2013. Die size, transistors, all that stuff. So this is what it looks like with some of the information filled out from online. And it's able to correctly read the clocks, whatnot. Still has the correct driver in there and whatnot. So the point is, it did pull down the ROPS information. That information is actually on the BIOS when you open GPUZ, NVIDIA Inspector, whatever. It's pulling that from the BIOS. So that's programmed in there by NVIDIA and nobody else. Okay, maybe it's programmed by the card manufacturer. It could very well be the card manufacturer. So now we got two questions here we got to ask and get answered. Do the card manufacturers get a standardized BIOS in which the manufacturer changes or maybe fills in some of this information? And in which case they would have been lied to about the technology? And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but why would the PR team, A, have anything to do with the BIOS? B, why would the card manufacturer talk to the PR team? If they're this close to actually making their own PCBs and stuff, I'd imagine they're actually talking to the engineering team. And C, when they get that BIOS from NVIDIA, if they do get it from NVIDIA, I'm pretty sure they probably get like a blank version or something. I just want to know what the hell's going on with this thing. And like what information is on that BIOS when they get it, what do they fill in, whatnot. But this is quite blatantly obvious that it does report the ROPS. So where I'm going with this, let me go to Tech Syndicate real quick. Okay, right here on Tech Syndicate, you can see this gentleman right here, Ventura, pulled off a screen grab of what the corrected specs for the 970 are. And this is all going back to the memgate thing. You can see the RAMs, or the cache has been revised, and the number of ROPs. You can look down here, and you can see in this screenshot, and I've actually got a screen grab of this so you guys can see it a little bit better. Let's see. Right here. This is the number of ROPs that the BIOS on his ASUS card's reporting, is 64. So is this ASUS's mistake, or is this NVIDIA's mistake? And if it's coming from NVIDIA this way, and NVIDIA's programming the sort of standard BIOS ROM for these companies, and they're just filling in like ASUS model number or whatever, who's doing this? Like, this is a straight up blatant lie. So there's still a lot of factors here to consider as far as like, why is the BIOS reporting 64 instead of 56? But I thought it was something worth bringing to anybody's attention that might be thinking about the 960 or 970, I should say. And I thought it was worth at least mentioning. This is something I didn't know yesterday during the podcast. I just knew this. But I was in the PC Per chat tonight, and they were telling me all this is pulled from online, which I just obviously proved that it's not. It does come from the BIOS. So we'll have to see. And who knows? Maybe this isn't coming from the BIOS. Maybe this is coming from the driver level. You know, like if this information's coming from the driver level, then that is NVIDIA. And then like just some of this is filled in for whatever reason, but I think it's the BIOS. I don't think it's the driver level. So right now I'm still left with more questions. I'm going to still try to keep digging to find out where these ROMs come from, these BIOS ROMs, who actually is in charge of making them, and what's going on with them. So for right now, I'm just going to leave it with that, and kind of a curiosity. But yeah. I don't know. I think it's a shitty situation. I think anytime you sell anything, especially your big corporation, and you're going to ask people for $320 for a graphics card, you should probably make sure you know your facts are straight. It's like it might have been an honest mistake, but at the end of the day, it's still wrong. So Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you later.